Here we are today. All right, everybody. Let this notification go out. And while that is taking place, we're going to go ahead and do our sound check. But we want to talk about this because it's something I have noticed. And I know I'm not the only one with the narcissism side of marketing. And yes, I've got a short story to tell y'all. Because exactly, right? You know, the world has a love of money, y'all. The root of all evil. God knows what we need, and He always provides. You got to believe that, okay? Trust and believe that God will always provide. Absolutely. And some of y'all are waiting on some responses to your comments and stuff, and I'm going to get to you. Thank you for your patience. You know, as God continues to reveal, okay, a lot more. And so we want to talk about the evildoers out here because, well, narcissists are like vultures, right? Well, yeah. And so I've used the example before that because they have a love of money. There are many who don't know that because that scarcity mindset comes from that love of money that God tells us, the root of all evil. He doesn't say that money is evil. No, God never said that seriously, He knows that we got bills to pay. He knows that we got to eat. He knows we need clothes. He knows these things, and He provides, always. So, as we, the chosen one, continue to walk and live by faith, you know, it's like how to, you know, overcome these things. There's a lot of, for whoever needs this, there's a lot of how-to videos on this channel. If you go to the playlist and you take a look at the how to heal from trauma, right? And how to deal with a narcissist, etc. So let me get the formalities out of the way. All right. I am Michelle Dickey, a master consultant, coach, trauma specialist, minister, and author, helping survivors of traumatization from narcissist abuse overcome trauma triggers, life obstacle, unpack that bag of talent and gift that God put on the inside. That's where the coach comes out, right there. And at CHA, which is the acronym for Consulting for Heightened Awareness, okay, that is the name of our ministry. Because after all, we're getting that heightened awareness that God needs us to have. You're not going to stay vigilant and aware without heightened awareness, right? God's wisdom right there. So in order for us to continue getting that heightened awareness, a fancy term for heightened awareness, you all, is mental acuity. But at CHA, we are a growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. Yes, a community of chosen ones where you have a voice and you do matter. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So if you've been looking for a community that knows about the game of narcissism on this world stage and you want to heal and grow, you've come to the right place at the right time. As always, at God's appointed time. Galatians 4 verse 2. And so we want to talk about the double-edged sword when it comes to the narcissist. Yeah, because they will hold up their end of the bargain until. Remember, James 1 verse 8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So, right, it's no surprise that these narcissists, okay, they're all about the love of money. So, of course, they're going to charge ridiculously high prices for things that we can figure out a way to do with God and get around their resistance. And so the story I have for you all is that article that was written using artificial intelligence. And then, of course, I did some editing. I had to humble it. Okay, I had to humble it back down. And it's on the website in a blog. Okay, that website link is listed below. If you have not read that yet, I highly encourage y'all to do so, because it really does summarize this ministry quite nicely. Yeah, and so you can also read the hyped up AI version. I've got the link to that in the description, okay, for the article. So if you go to the website, okay, I'm going to lead you to it at your earliest convenience, and you have not read that yet, you want to, because then you'll understand. Okay, it was published in Women's Journal, because that was part of the bargain. You see? Right, just one though. Just one publication. Okay, that was the intro deal. See, this is the narcissism side of marketing in action, okay? Because I noticed that, when I set the appointment up just to talk to them about it, to find out more, learn more about them, I got the pushiness. Yeah, right off the bat. Felt like they had to remind me twice a day, 3 times a day about the appointment. I was like, okay. That's narcissism in action. But because they put it out there, they advertise that they'll do 1 free publication. They have to hold up that end of the bargain, because that's what they're marketing, right? Aha. And, okay, let me see. CHA. Okay, under blogs. Let's see. I'm trying to. CHAs. Okay. In the blog. Yep, you'll click on blog, and then you'll find, if you scroll on down, Trauma Healing and Spiritual Growth at CHA and CHA Academy article. Okay? And when you click on that, you'll find the link inside that blog, okay, to the Women's Journal. So you can read the version of the article that I humbled down. I edited it and put it on the website. But they published the AI version, pretty hyped up, using quite a bit of sophisticated language, but was trying to make, and so you'll see it. Okay, so you can do a righteous comparison there, and you'll see a big difference. But I humbled it down, and so Consulting for Heightened Awareness, CHA and CHA Academy. You'll see my profile picture, and then you'll see the article as you scroll on down. I had to post it as and then I broke it down in sections as I humbled it down. Okay, so now they had to hold up their in there, all right, by publishing it in at least one place, right? That was the deal. But then, I knew about the different packages that they offer, and we discussed that, and I was like, okay, all right. I said, let me think about this. See, they don't like it when you say, let me think about this. Right? I'm gonna chew on this, because they know that if you do that, you're gonna figure out that they're charging way too much money, because we learn how to do the research. Yeah, we learn how to do the research and figure out, okay, hold on a second. There's a way around this resistance to get our brand out there. And so they hold up their end of the bargain until we don't do what they expect us to do. Because after they got it published, they were hoping that would be enough of a love bomb to try and steal money from me. I see we're not falling for that again. We already did that a couple of times before. We had to learn the different flavors of that, and listen, lesson learned big time. Because the narcissism side of marketing, y'all got to watch out. Bunch of scams and a lot of things we can do with God and only God. Okay? So I want y'all to know that. But I did, right. And then to try and squeeze just a little bit out of me, they, text me some new deal. And then it wasn't a few days after that, because I didn't move quick enough. Because I'm seeing the red flags of narcissism. And so they want to offer me another publication for this very low price. One-time deal. Really? How many times have we seen that one-time deal circle back around? Yeah, it's not a one-time deal. So we don't fall for that. But since I don't respond or do what they expect, I got another text message. It says, I sent you some information for that one-time deal. And so telling me that that's the last time they're going to send something to me. Good. Thank you for the gift card. Bye. Good riddance. Because I'm not going to pay you $10,000 to what? No. Because for those who listen, it might take a little bit of time, but there is a legitimate way to get your stuff, your expertise published out there. And if you check it out, it's called Help a Reporter Out, HARO, HARO. They have moved to connectivity. I get that. We used to get email alerts all the time. Now we go into that app and look at what they're looking for. And if you come across a topic that fits your area of expertise, then by all means, give it a go. Now, is it a guarantee that they'll pick your? Not necessarily. However, you can get yourself out there. And so you got to do the legwork. Because the narcissists that are also in the business world will behave just like the narcissists that we interacted with, before we saw the narcissism side of marketing. And so they hold up their end of the bargain because they have to. But then when you don't do what they expect you to do, that's right, they're gift cards. Just like the narcissist on the individual level. When they realize we're not going to play the role that they scripted out in their heads for us, they'll go to the gift card. And so I was like, and I don't need to say the name of the company. There's a lot of marketing out there because you got to remember that when they come at you like that, and you sense the pushiness, but you can also sense their desperation, meaning they've got the demon of desperation because of that love of money. Remember, that's why God said that love of money is the root of all, not money itself, but the love of money is the root of all evil. Because it is. So they've got the demon of desperation because money only stretches so far, right? Yeah. And we learned something else, chosen one, in God's reality, that, as we see, the world does not move as fast as it wanted us to think it did. That matrix is very, very, very slow moving. But you can't be, you got to be spiritually out of the matrix to see that. And so we do. It's like a snail crawl. Oh, yeah. It's very slow-mo. While appearing to move quickly. Remember, the devil is all about appearances. The devil is all about appearances. That's it. That's all he's got. Head game and appearances. And so we learned that we don't fall for that over and over and over again. Remember, God said, be not deceived. God is not mocked. And so we learn quickly that the double-edged sword with these narcissists, exactly, it's because of their double mind. So being double-minded, they're unstable in all their ways. And we can see this now. Many of you are just now starting to see it. Keep going. Let God reveal it to you. Because He is a promise keeper to reveal all to us. The end stages of life. He's revealing it all. And never forget how important it is to stay the course. All eyes on Jesus, no matter what. But the narcissist, that double-edged sword of theirs, okay? Betrayal. Absolutely. Because if we don't do what they expect us to do, of course, they get mad. I mean, they're already mad, but they just get a little bit madder. And they're like, oh. But see, that's why chosen ones are smart. So whenever that went down with that article for CHA, that's exactly why I printed out the original copy and I humbled it. I made myself a copy, of course. And that's why it's on the website. So there you go. Because, I mean, it was wonderfully written by artificial intelligence, although I still had to edit something. But it summarizes our ministry quite nicely. And, yeah, okay. But there are also AI tools out here that we can use ourselves. And you can get the software for maybe a fraction of the cost that they want to do it for you. You see the scam there, right? See, I learned that. I learned that about the podcast when I came across RSS.com. And that there are some entities out here who are charging thousands of dollars for something you can do for $150 a year. That's the scam. That's narcissism in action. But see, we have to learn about those things. Yeah, I didn't know that at the time. But I also know that the Jezebels had something to do. Absolutely. Had something to do with that. Sending a couple of networks across my path. Especially the Jezebel case study with the TV show. Yeah, she had something to do with that. Because she had to make her lie look believable. Remember, the devil has to make his lies and theirs look believable. And she blurted out, I already knew we were going to have our own show right here. Right? So I didn't know that the Let's Just Chat theme was going to turn into a show at the time. But it has. And so we learn. Yes. Yes, happy Sunday to you all as well. Thank you. But we learned about that. And I hadn't said anything when God revealed to me, said you're going to have your own show. Okay. I didn't tell nobody. That was between me and God. And exactly. About a few months after that, Jezebel case study blurted out during a session that you're going to have your own TV show. I'm like, okay, how would she know that? And then that other network, shortly thereafter, comes across my path. Ding, 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 ding. Connecting dots. Right, because the devil knew that we had some credit cards we weren't using yet. And because I didn't know about the narcissism side of marketing yet, but never again, because I did some further research when I realized that they also lied to me. Listen, chosen one, when we realize we've been lied to, it's time to go. It's time to go. And the Lord told me, he said, say goodbye. Once I realized that if you go visit tvstartup.com, bingo! So it's like, okay, I see. So I didn't know anything about that yet. And so now since like, So for those of you who would like to follow CHA's Truth Seeker podcast on our other hosting site, that rss.com link is listed below. Okay? So that's your direct access. And you can also find it on the website as well in the navigation drop-down menu. Yep. CHA's Truth Seeker podcast. And so there you, hey, listen, look, when the narcissist sees that we're not going to do what they expect us to do, they are going to discard. And we don't, right, it's like, okay, we learn real quick in the entrepreneurial world. Yeah, it slides right off our back. We don't care. Because we're not going to fall for that deception again. We learned a lesson. Now, mind you, my takeaway from that experience is that it taught me how to structure a show for advertising. And it taught me how to use keywords and things like that. So I did learn something, sure. So I look at that side of it and I go, okay, you know what? So basically, I'm just going to say I paid for a course. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it as I got duped. I paid for a course because I learned how that works. I learned how they do things. I learned how to implement advertising for our Motivational Monday show. And then also the CHA show when it's in season, by the way. Okay. You'll find season 1. You'll find season 1 in a playlist, the CHA show that we did the first season we did in 2023. So, no, that's all right. You're all good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, businesses seeing us as a walking credit card. Oh, you got that right. But they're narcissists. They see us as walking credit cards when we're not. Okay? And so we learned that real quick. That, this is why I gave that to y'all. So that if you have somebody that comes to you and is promising you massive exposure, but they want $5,000. Oh, but they tell you originally it would cost about 10 grand, but guess what? Today's your lucky day. I can do that for you for just 5 grand. Do not fall for that. Okay? So my lesson learned to teach you all. Don't fall for that. They trying to tell you it normally costs this, but it's your lucky day. That's a love bomb. And it is very, very convincing. Oh, absolutely. But also pay attention to if there's any sense of being overwhelmed. Like they tell you all this stuff, all these different networks that you'll be on, all these different... you see where we're going here, right? Yeah. But because I did not come off of any more money for another campaign, that's when the discarding started. Yeah, because I didn't do what they expected me to do. So yeah. Right, if you only get a verbal contract and nothing in writing, well, true. But I would tell you something. They crafted up. They crafted up how to get it in writing. And so you can have a copy of the receipts. Absolutely. Because if you are able to do so and you're able to turn a profit after that, then you can write it off on your taxes. Yes. But that particular network is not in the business for helping businesses. That particular network is in the business of putting other businesses out of business. Remember, the opposite is what happens in the Matrix. We learn to see this. Okay, that double-edged sword with these narcissists. The opposite. They put on they put on a great show, don't they? Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna get you this. We're gonna get you that. We're gonna give you some red carpet treatment. I don't want red carpet treatment. Chosen one, we don't look for that. Yeah, trying to paint it all like, all its lasciviousness, right? Remember what God says about that, right? Yeah, the evildoers and all their lasciviousness, the glitz and the glam. Chosen one, we don't care about that. Because, listen, wanting that kind of treatment, that's narcissistic if you want that kind of treatment. We're doing just fine. God has us where he has us. We're not looking for that kind of status in society because we see it for what it is. All a dog and pony show. Again, there's no such thing as a celebrity. That's all glitz and glam to keep the toddlers in adult body entertained and trick a lot of people into engaging in gossip. Gossiping is a sin. No, they did not. No, they did not. And I know why. Right, I know why. Because we're up here speaking truth. And the devil doesn't want that to get too far out there. But again, God is in full control. And the devil and his minion can't stop nothing. Because God's going to make sure this channel comes across our fellow spiritual warriors for Christ's speed. God is going, he's always in full control. But I don't need an explanation from anybody as to why they lied. I know why they lied. For their love of money. That's right. We know why they lied. God tells us why. But see, I'm not complaining because, like I said, I learned a lot of lessons about some things with that. I learned a lot of lessons. But remember, the righteous are bold as a lion, and we're not going to continue to fall for that. So if there's anyone that comes across these videos and thinks you're going to send me an email trying to sell me something that I can see right through, don't waste your time. Because I'm going to spam it. if it's not already in the spam folder. I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy this stuff anymore. I've learned, and so I'm teaching you all. If you're interested, there's ways that you can launch your podcast just fine. For right, if you pay annually around $150, okay, that's right, and you can launch your own. Record it, upload it, all from your dashboard. There's several different podcast hosting sites, but I happen to use RSS.com. It's relatively simple, and they've just opened up our ability to do live podcasting through that. And again, we're still in the working that out phase as to whether or not we're going to do that, because we do go live with the Truth Seeker podcast right here on this YouTube channel. So it's just a matter of time. But we don't fall for those things anymore. Once we learn the deception, then that's it. We're not going to continue to fall for it. Because there's ways, you can start your own network using tvstartup.com. Yep. And then your own seriously. Once you realize how simple it is to record and upload something, see, for Chosen One, nothing is too difficult. For Chosen One, because with God, all things are possible. Absolutely. With God, all things are possible. And, we're fully aware of that. Yeah, they probably are. They probably are. If they're still in the playlist on this channel, look, y'all, I'm not throwing them under the bus. They're just trying to run a business. Yeah, I'm not putting under the bus. They're just trying to run a business, just like we are. But we're just doing things differently. We're not out here trying to sell you all stuff that isn't going to help you. All about healing and growing. How are we going to grow if we feel that we're dependent on man? No. No, I'm not. No, they can leave them. A video collab. Okay, would it be split screen? Yes. Exactly. Using this software in StreamYard, I have the ability to do split screen. Right. Chris, how we did the podcast, and I know you didn't have your camera on, and that's fine. It's just audio anyhow. But that's what podcast is. When it's pre-recorded, it's just audio anyhow. It used to be called audio blog. Yeah, that's what they used to call it back in the 80s, I believe. Audio blogging. So it's been around for a long time, apparently. But yes, video collab would definitely be a split screen. And I can have up to 10 guests at one time in this software that I'm using to go live. But I can also do the pre-record. Absolutely pre-record, just a recording. So, I could come in here when I want to set up my green screen. And I can use a different backdrop. I can do a pre-recorded video with a different backdrop anytime I want to using this software. So it's really handy. But that's how a video, and the topic of choice, we would discuss that prior to the video. Because there are certain things that, we don't talk about per se. We mention it on the Patreon channel, but pretty much for anybody who doesn't know this yet, here at Consulting for Heightened Awareness, yeah, we are a political atheist. We don't have nothing to do with that game of narcissism on the world stage. Nothing to do with it anymore. I mean, I know it's out there, but it's part of the dog and pony show. We learned this later on as God continues to get us out of the matrix, because that's the topic we're not going to get involved in. We don't want anything to, that's part of all that chaos and drama. We want to heal and grow, right? Well, that's counterproductive. You're not going to heal and grow talking about that or getting involved with that. Now, I understand if you've got young children, and listen, discernment, okay? There's going to come a day where, yes, you'll be able to break free from that. And so, yeah, that's why I call it the P matrix. Okay, let's see. Okay, as far as topics, similar to the podcast, but with video, yes. It would be cool. I have put it out here for anybody who wants to appear as a guest. I can get, I can have, like I said, I can have up to 10 of y'all, but I'm not going to have that many. If I get a couple of you who would like to appear, just the three of us up here talking about maybe a particular wicked behavior that doesn't get discussed enough, that we see the narcissist engaging in. Because remember, we are to bring darkness to light, chosen one. So we can discuss that. But how about, let's say you found a trauma healing technique that I've not talked about, and I don't even know about it, but it worked for you. You can share that miracle. It might work for someone. It will work for someone else. I guarantee it, because let's say there's someone out there who has tried some of the technique that I've given, and maybe another person has given, or another person, and it's just not working out for them as well as they would have hoped. And so here you come along, and you have a completely different new method. They try it, and it works. Glory be to God. Right? That's what iron sharpening iron looks like. And then the video collab could be any day that you are available. And I, obviously. Okay? And see, I go live frequently, pretty much on a daily basis, unless I let y'all know right here in the YouTube community tab. Okay? That, we're not playing the game of narcissism. No. Okay, we're here to do God's perfect will to help you all heal from the trauma and grow spiritually, meaning you're getting closer to God. While getting to the other side of that rainbow for that balance between the spiritual and the physical. That's what it's all about. Okay, because once you can do that and you're able to master and control your soul, yourself, your emotions. I just put a video out because I saw that some of y'all are searching for that. And so it's about a 25-minute video. And then I did a short to promote it, of course. But how to master and control your emotion. Because that's a big part of trauma healing right there. And so that lets us know that there's a lot of y'all who are wanting to get better control of yourself. Because when you do that, nothing that the evildoers, the narcissists out here do is going to get to you anymore. It can't. Because you're able to maintain emotional regulation. When you are emotionally regulated, the deception, out here, they won't continue to work on us once we learn of them. Remember, we are also in repentance. Don't forget that important point. Oh yeah. We're still getting up here and going live frequently. Yep. And if I am going to take more than one day, I will let y'all know. Absolutely. So, survivor of narc abuse would have a lot of insight on how they got through that. Exactly. Because none of us, okay, you all, none of us is going to experience, well, we do experience similar things, obviously. Okay, yes. And you will learn how normal those things are because you are having normal reaction to an abnormal circumstance. So you're going to hop on over to the website and get you a copy of those Real Talk with God's Wisdom videos. That's Real Talk, one-on-one. Okay? Right? Because video number 1 is all about that, overcoming that initial shock, having a little bit of the, like a brief moment of anger, animosity. That's normal because after all, you just realize, oh my goodness, I lied to me. Entire relationship, if that's what you want to call it. So of course you're going to experience those things, and that's all normal, but you do overcome them. And so those Real Talk videos are to help you all remember that you're not crazy. What you experience is normal. And so that's why we're big on allow yourself the time and space that you need to heal. And then, the patterns that are present in narcissism. That's right. We start to pick up on them a lot quicker because they're out there. And it is a fallen Babylonian world out there. The Matrix. It's highly narcissistic, yes. We see it all the time. And we don't ignore it anymore. See, that's the difference, chosen one. When God awakens us like he did, ooh, and he continues to reveal his spiritual truths to us, oh yeah. The devil, like I say often, can no longer hide in plain sight. And so you want to get up here and have a discussion about any particular pattern of narcissism? Yeah. Let's see, but aside from the and the M matrix, we're not going to talk about it like that either. We mentioned some things over on the Patreon channel regarding that, but we could see right through it too, because we know that part of the matrix is all about keeping people away from Jesus. Yeah. Remember symbols, you all. It's not a secret. A lot of people on TikTok even know about that symbol of death. Yeah, a snake with a snake wrap. Come on now. But see, we didn't know until God awakened us. We went down the rabbit hole and we learned that, because that's a symbol of death. I know. Oh, yeah. And so when you realize that, because that narcissistic matrix is the demonic realm, y'all. That's what God revealed to us. And so we just, right. Well, so how do you navigate? Well, let God guide our step. That's how we navigate through it. That's right. And learn how to trust the God Spirit and others who have the God Spirit. There you go. And right. And they all have to, a lot of them have to take that oath. That's right. They sure do. Because after we learn what goes on during a satanic ritual, oh yeah, you see it being played out. A lot of people don't know that. We didn't either until We have a fellow warrior that brought that to my attention over there on Telegram. And yet on Telegram, we're slowly but surely getting back on track. Thank you for your patience. We've got a business Telegram page. So I want to go ahead and thank everyone who has given us, yes, Consulting for Heightened Awareness. You've given us some Google reviews. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to all who will give a Google review. That direct link is listed down below for quicker access as well. And yeah, this is why we have the movement, Combating Radio Frequency for Healthier Living, to take better care of ourselves so we don't end up being fed to the in other words, so we don't become human lab rats. Because that's what I learned. That it reminds me of another meme that I came across there on the Telegram channel during the season, going down the rabbit hole. And yeah, it was a meme of a couple of people, one dude, obviously awake and aware, but then there's another person, and in the chat bubble, it says that they went and got themselves, was being advertised to go and get, right? Okay, right. And they were all proud of themselves. And so the other person in that bubble, it said, congratulations, you just went from being a sheep to a human lab rat. And I was like, oh, there you go. Yeah. They just went from being a sheep to a human lab rat. Well, congratulations. Yeah, I know, right. Another walking credit card for that. Gotcha. Oh, of course. And so there you go, everybody. God is not a God of pain and suffering. Okay? He's not. No, he is not. Yeah, God is not a God of pain and suffering. He does not want to see. He does not want to see that. So that's why I also did not want to stick around in that previous environment and watch her suffering like that. I wasn't going to sit there and watch it. No. See, chosen ones don't feed on that stuff. Only the narcissists feed on that stuff. They feed on other people's pain and suffering. They like it. It's really sick to watch in action, too, how they do it. It's like, wow. Because God does not want to see that stuff. No, chosen one, we don't like that. We don't want to see nobody in pain and suffering. And see, that's the other thing. They know that about us too. But they also want to imagine that we are somehow in pain and suffering to make themselves feel more comfortable. But see, we know that they're not comfortable in their own skin. They don't even know who they are. You can only know who you are when you've got Jesus. Fill that void. And then you learn who you are in Christ. And you also learn that Jesus did not come to teach or preach religion. He came to abolish it. And so, to get God's spiritual truth out to who needs them. Remember, those who can spiritually discern, they're going to understand. the content on this channel and elsewhere. In the growing community of Spiritual Warriors for Christ. And so a huge thank you to all who have pledged service grant and to all who will. You see the PayPal link below, scrolling across the screen. It's also listed in the video description as well. So I highly encourage y'all to check that out. Check out the academy. Check out what we've got. We've got stuff for you all to help you heal from that trauma and grow closer to God. That's right. To get closer to God. Not away. Remember, anything that we come across that's trying to take us away from God, we stay away from that. Remember, that's very important. I don't know. PayPal doesn't have a limit. Not to my knowledge. Ooh. There's no limit. It's whatever's on your spirit. Because everything goes right back into the growing community of Spiritual Warriors for Christ. That's right. I'm bringing more courses, bring you more. Oh yeah, I have a bunch of basic scientific facts back here to teach y'all. Oh yeah. God didn't have us get these degrees just to sit on them. No. There's some truths here, and I can break some stuff down. After all, that How the Trauma Bond is Formed course. Yeah, my toxicology master's degree, y'all. I had to, learn how to toxic substances manipulate brain chemistry. Well, that's what happens during the trauma bonding process. It's the exact same thing. That's why we become addicted to the narcissist and the abuse. And we experience the withdrawal symptoms just like a drug addict experiences a withdrawal symptom from the drug. So I'm able to connect those dots for you all in that course. So that's just one example. And then my autonomic nervous system became a case study. Yeah. And so I bring you all the inner workings. That's intensive trauma healing right there. To get to know your inner child. And that autonomic nervous system is your inner child. See, I learned about that during my trauma training. Remember, the trauma training was with the Arizona Trauma Institute. Okay? Yes. That's where we got the trauma specialist training. And then also from experience. And then, remember, God qualifies us. When God calls us to do what he calls us to do, God qualifies us first. I want y'all to remember that. Okay, writing. Okay, we are slowly getting back on track. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not too personal. Because I told y'all, we got more stuff coming. I got Jezebel case study to tell the world about. I got, oh my gosh, a lot more about this matrix. Because we're like on the outside looking in, right? Spiritually, that is, you all. Spiritually. Okay? Remember, to be spiritually minded is life and peace in Romans 8, verse 6. So never forget that. Very, very important. That we got to keep our mind on all things above. Colossians 3, verse 1, right? That means stay spiritually minded. That one. God got me working on something else first. But we're not going to sit on none of it. I know I share that story with you all because I did not know that I actually packed that to bring it with me. I did when I first got here. The novel that I wrote for a contest while I was in undergrad, Yeah. Yeah, it was a contest to get 50,000 words. And we got ourselves a certificate. And it was like, okay, cool beans. That was a really fun experience. And and lo and behold, when I started unpacking my totes with binders in it, there it was. So I was like, I don't remember packing that thing. But see, the Holy Spirit. You see, the Holy Spirit made sure that that sucker came with me because that's part of my talents. See, writing, part of my talent and gifts. Okay? And so God's like, yeah, you ain't gonna sit on that. And he said, there's room for improvement, absolutely. And maybe even some fine-tuning and tweaking, maybe even adding some things. You never know. But God has us working on something else first for you all. So I'm just going to leave it at that, back to the basics. One day at a time. Okay, but we are getting there. So you're close. You're close. Because I had to talk to God about that. I said, I'm all about the nonfiction, though. He said, yeah, but, honey child, that was very well put together. Yeah, I mean, I did. I had to pick the characters. That's what I'm saying. Writing nonfiction, it is easier than writing a fiction novel. I'm going to tell you, it is a bit easier because you're not having to necessarily, you don't have to come up with characters, assign them roles. Yeah, like what role is this character going to play? What's this character's name going to be? Oh my gosh, yeah. And then what's the plot? Yeah, it takes a lot more planning for fiction writing. And I know there's a lot of fiction authors out there that to that. Because nonfiction writing, now that depends on the nonfiction. Okay, that depends on the nonfiction type of book. Like Real Events of Narcissistic Abuse, Someone's Survival Guide, my book, that's nonfiction. That's my testimony. That's my story. I didn't have to do all that. I didn't have to go who's it because I knew who was who. I knew who the narcissist was. Okay, so, and who they are still to this day. And then you also have nonfiction books, textbooks. Now, putting together a textbook does require some research. So there's a little bit that goes into that. So I wanted to be clear here. It's not black and white. Okay. When it comes to writing, there's right. And then a blog. Depends on the type of blog. So there you go. All right, everybody. And that wraps up today's Let's Just Chat. Got some good stuff in there for you all. And we're going to keep on bringing you all some stuff. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm glad that you're looking forward to it. And I really appreciate all y'all. Yeah, I will accept book reviews. If you've read my books and you want to write, just a simple paragraph review that I can put on the website, send me an email. Okay, the email is listed in the description below. Send it to me that way. Okay, send it to me that way if you want to leave me a book review. And then let me know if you want your name, initial, or an alias to be used. Okay, because I got to give credit where credit due for the book reviews. But because when you go to my books and publications on the website, that's what you'll see is book reviews for Real Events of Narcissistic Abuse first, but I can add to that. Yeah, I can add to that. Absolutely. And thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. So I can put that on the website for others to, I get it. We got to build that trust, right? That's what it's all about. Because we live in a fallen world, and understandably so, why there's trust issues. Because we had to overcome that and just learn to trust. But we don't trust the narcissist, no. But we trust God, and that's the God spirit, and you all as well. So, yes, welcome to our growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ, where iron sharpens iron at Consulting for Heightened Awareness, CHA. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your support. Until next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.